Hey everybody, welcome to GameTime. My name is JJ and this is another episode of Video Game Collecting 101, and what I'm going to be talking about today is figuring out if your sealed copy of a video game is actually a properly sealed copy of that video game in this world of wonderful machines that can shrink wrap pretty much anything and whatnot. It is not uncommon to find a game that has been resealed, say at Giant Tiger or anything like that, where you open it up and you're like, why is this already scratched? It happens all the time in all kinds of second, rate stores, you know what I mean, all over the place. So it does happen. So, I bet you it's happened to you as well. So I'm gonna go through some games here, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go through every single console or anything like that, but I'm gonna give you a little basic idea of what to look for, and if you need to look at it further, just look it up because it's good information to have. So we'll start off with regular PlayStation, for example. So we got a copy of Dragon Valor here that's sealed, and what you want to look for on a normal PlayStation game is the Y-fold at the bottom. Usually is one of the good indicators that it's a properly sealed game, and obviously your label at the top with the silver strip is usually a good indicator that it's pretty sealed. Mine's a PlayStation wrapping is really sensitive. You know what I mean? And a little too much rubbing and it'll start to fall apart. So you'll know that it's a properly sealed game. You know what I mean? So yeah, Dragon Valor. I got it for a good deal too. You know what I mean? So PS2 is pretty much the same. Here I've got Mega Man X Command Missions. It's sealed. It's got the Y folds as well. It's another thing to look for when you're looking at stuff, because most shrink wrapping machines won't do this good of a job, wrapping stuff properly and whatnot. And it's got the silver strip and the label at the top. That doesn't mean that there are games that don't have this strip and this silver strip. You know what I mean? I have an example right here. Actually, I've got this guy at 2 that is factory sealed. It's got the Y folds and everything. Everything looks good, but the top doesn't have that strip. That is not uncommon on later releases of regular PlayStation Greatest Hits games that came out near the end of its life cycle. I used to work at the video store when that happened, and pretty much every Final Fantasy game for the original PlayStation ended up being like $14 to purchase. Like, my cost was $14 to buy them. Like, I got Threads of Fate, Breath of Fire 4, all these awesome PlayStation 1 RPGs, some of them that didn't come out as greatest hits, so they came out to me as Black Label as well for $14. It was actually pretty sweet. So anyways, we're gonna go to same thing with Nintendo DS games. Here's Heroes of Mana. I haven't really played it too much yet. I tried it before and I didn't like it a whole lot, but it was a good deal. I might get back into it later. But it's got the Y folds as well. This is usually, but you know what, DS. There's a lot of bootlegs when it comes to Nintendo DS games, so be careful shopping online and stuff. It happens all the time, okay? So, and here we have Zelda 2 Adventure of Link for Game Boy Advance. The classic NES series, and it's sealed. Now, the old cartridges that used to come in these cardboard boxes back in the day, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, stuff like that, tend to always have an H seam in the middle of the back of the cart itself, and the H seam kind of goes up to about halfway down the middle and lines up here onto the side. So it's just a good indicator that it's a properly sealed game as well. Here it kind of looks a little bit better there. But that's one thing to look at, and I don't really care about sealed games. It's just I come up on them sometimes, but I don't have really any Super Nintendo sealed games. But Nintendo and Super Nintendo, I'll just show you an example, would have the H seam as well, and would probably have all of this, little seams on the side and the H seam on the back. Okay, so like it's just something to look at. If you want to get really fancy, I've got a copy of like Zelda Wind Waker HD here for Wii U, and it's still actually in the case that the store displayed it in, because the store was going out of business, and they said, I want to keep this one in good shape, just leave it in the case. So I can't even open it myself. I'd have to break it open to get to the game. So this game is in good shape, and it's sealed. But notice that these newer games don't come with those seals sometimes and stuff either. So there's nothing too crazy. There's a Y fold at the top there, you can tell. So it's just another thing to look at. I don't know why I did this. I don't know. It makes a cool display with my other Zelda stuff. It's pretty neat. And here's the grand finale would be if you're really really over the top and rich as hell, you can go online and purchase, VGA graded games like this, my Dragon Quest 8. This cost $125. I just wanted to, test out the market and see what the hubbub was about. And it's a nice little display conversation piece or anything like that. But stuff like this does drive up the market for and make games, more expensive for the sake of being more expensive, pretty much for nothing. So I just wanted to check it out. It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I doubt I'm gonna be buying any more of these. I bought this like 4 or 5 years ago, so and it's the only one I have. It just makes a good conversation piece. But I wouldn't suggest buying your games VGA graded just for the sake of having it like this. You know what I mean? It's not, it's awesome, but it's, as a gamer, these aren't good for the market. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to check it out, see what the hubbub was about, and that's pretty much what it is. If you're a rich man, like it drives games up too high, in my opinion. So I haven't gotten it anymore. So that's just yeah, my little episode for the day of Classic Game Collecting 101. So I hope you enjoyed it and learned a couple little things here and there. There are other games that seal stuff a different way, but like I said, I like to open my games and play them. So yeah, it's fun stuff, man. So we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out and happy gaming, everybody.